What is going on, everybody? It is now the second half of the year. Happy, I was going to say Happy New Year, but I guess I'm going to say happy second half. So I don't know how your first half was. Some of us might have just crushed it, like absolutely did a great job in the first half of the year. And then there's some of us, the first half of the year, we didn't do everything we wanted to do. We didn't accomplish a lot of the goals that we had, and so it doesn't matter which side you're on, whether you absolutely just nailed it the first half of the year or if you absolutely just did horrible the first half of the year. Like even myself personally, I can feel where there's some wins that I had in the first half, but there's still some things that I wanted to accomplish at the beginning of the year, but I still didn't accomplish it. So let's talk about you, your team, your dealership, your company. How do we have the best second half of the year that we can possibly ever have? So if you had a great first half, excellent. If you had a terrible first half, it's okay, because the second half, what we're going to lay out today is some really practical steps that you yourself or your team can use to make sure that you guys take it to the next level. Okay, so I put here the number one thing that I want you, yourself, or your team to focus in on is time utilization. To me, this is from going into a lot of stores this year and consulting with many of you. Time utilization, to me, is one of the most crucial things that's going to dictate how the second half of your year goes. And I know it's cliche to say success is in your routine, but it really is. And even from a personal standpoint or a business standpoint, your routine, the routine that you have, is going to make or break your second half of the year, no matter what's going on in the market. If you have a terrible routine, you're going to struggle. Last year was different. You could actually get away, and some of you know this, you could actually get away with not having the best routine and you still mess around and sold enough cars, you made enough money. But as we can see, the market is shrinking, everybody. You know this. I feel it too. The market is shrinking. When the market shrinks, and things like this are happening, then the people that win are the ones that capture the most out of their market share. And so what you have to do is you have to be willing to do the things that most people aren't willing to do. You really have to dial in deep into your CRM, your data, right? And so I've got it right here. So the key things that I really want you to put a lot of your time into and make sure that you're measuring this. Number one is your CRM. That's your gold mine. Every single day, your team, you guys have to mine that thing. Make sure it's organized, it's tight, and draw business out of that CRM. That's where you're going to get your repeat business. That's where you're going to get your referrals. All that stuff is going to come through your CRM. So manage that and keep your house clean. Next, to me, this is the second crucial element, is social media. This you will see more in the second half, where I will be consulting with many of you and training with you guys a lot on the power of social media, because not only has it helped me and my business thrive, but I've helped so many other individuals that will take what I'm telling them to do and put it in practice along with their talents and gifts. And it's limitless, the opportunities you can do there. You have to get ahead of the game. If you are not in social media, whether it's your dealership, being actively engaged, and I'm talking about we have a schedule, and some of the clients already know, we've got a calendar, we've got a map, we know exactly what we're going to post, we know our content strategy. Those things are important. Even from an individual standpoint, you have got to know what your social media strategy is going to be like and how to turn that into growing your brand, growing your business, helping people buy cars, not just trying to sell them on social media. But if I'm selling cars today, social media is where you need to, after your CRM, taking care of your sold, your repeat customers there, then you need to work on your audience that's in your social media and keep them up to date on what's going on. Whatever we're trying to accomplish, you can do this through your social media. Next, your community. That kind of ties in both to CRM and social media, but the community is going to be the key separator from, again, those dealerships that win, the individuals that win, and the ones that do not. We have to get back into our community, make sure we're serving, make sure we're highlighting, doing what we can to help people and give back. That is going to turn around and give you more dollars than ever before. So I know some clients, they have food trucks coming to their dealership. Whatever it is, whether you pair up with local restaurants, maybe you pair up with local athletics, whatever it is, Get involved in the community. You know, maybe it's something around gas. Maybe you can do some gas giveaway prizes or something like that. But just be thinking outside the box. What can we do in our community to let them know that we are here to serve and we're still here to help? Because in times when it does get a little bit tighter, it's going to be our customers and our employees that get us through that thing. Okay. Next, our service drive. The service drive, as we know, is always going to pump every single day. That sucker's going to keep pumping. Doesn't matter if it's an old vehicle or something that was just purchased 6 months ago. The goal, though, is we have to make sure they get back into service the first time. So if we don't get them the first time, as we all know, it's very hard to get them back. So make sure we're doing what we can to make sure the experience is great on the front end to where they come into the service on the back end of it. Right? And then there's some people that didn't even buy a car from you that are in your service drive. Make sure you're making them feel welcome. And we'll talk about here in a few slides about this is one of the best places to acquire inventory. Okay. Next is daily training. So of course, you know, I'm known as a sales trainer, right? And as a consultant, but I don't care what trainer you can use, whoever, right? Some of the best that have been around for 30, 40 years. The way that training works and it gets implemented is you take whatever it is that I'm teaching, whoever it is that you prefer to use, but you have to make sure that you're training every single day in-house. This is huge. Again, we're talking about time utilization. When you hear me talk about these 5 things, there's not much time else to play. Like you can add other things that are productive, but the goal is this second half of the year is that 70 to 80% of our time is really intentional when we come to the workforce. We cannot slip up. We can't be slow. We can't have those days where I just wasn't feeling it today. No, you cannot feel it when you get home. But every single day when we come to work, we have to go to work, right? But that daily training, there's nothing more impactful than everything that we're talking about. Then every single day, and I'm talking about 10, 15 minutes, talk about issues, talk about customers that are complaining about gas, how to get over that. If you have prices that are a little bit higher than what customers are actually wanting to spend, let's train on that. You know, you have me as a resource, you know, we can set up calls and I'm coming to your stores, but it's not ever going to be enough. So make sure that daily you're just reinforcing those things. And don't just be the sales trainer at your store. You know, if you're that leader, empower the other people on your sales team to make sure that they do trainings as well. Next, I've moved this video over again because I can't see out this stuff. Okay, it says measure your data daily. Now this is important because everything that we just talked about in the previous slide sounded great, but now let's talk about what are the key measurables. So one of the things I put is appointments. How many appointments do you set per rep? And this could be for a BDC, or I would definitely encourage the entire sales team. In this, there's 6 boxes here. I want you to just focus in on one of them. So my challenge to you as a leader and as an individual here is I want you to just pick one thing, whether it be appointments, activity, your monthly goals, your social media, logging 100% of your customers, are communicating to your team daily and giving them feedback on where we stand every single day. But quickly to break these 6 things down that I would love to see you measure daily, again, individually or as a team. Number 1, how many appointments did you set? Once you measure how many appointments have been set or shown, because to me, appointments shown is way more important than just setting appointments, but you have to set an appointment to get them to show up or to go to their place of business or their house to do a delivery. But when you start measuring this is when your results increase. So if you as a leader or you as an individual is not measuring what your goal is, and if you're not looking at that daily or setting a target, I highly doubt you're going to hit it. So when you put in a number, start with 1 if you don't have one. Like, hey, moving forward every single day, I want everybody in here to set at least 1 appointment, and it's going to be confirmed by me. If you just do that one thing in your organization and then use the resources and you people like me to help drive, like, where are we going to get our appointments from? CRM, social, follow-up, community, there's all these, but let the team think outside the box on how they're going to get the appointment.